Hey guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing yet another movie review, so hopefully you find this one interesting. This movie is a science fiction horror film from Canada, English language, released in the year 2017, directed by Steven Shainberg, and this film is called Rupture. So Rupture is about this single mother. She's dropping her son off to his father, and on the way back she has a tyre puncture. So she's on the side of the road trying to repair it, and this is where a van stops. Now in the van comes out this man who seems to be very friendly. He says, do you need any help? Let me help you. And then all of a sudden she realises that he has sinister intentions, but it's all too late because he's tasered her, knocked her out and put her in the back of the van. Now this van is travelling to a very remote facility that specialise in people's phobias. Now the reason why they specialise in phobias is because they're looking for someone who can join them. And I'm not going to tell you what that's all about, but basically this woman, when she wakes up, she realises that she's going to have to confront all of her phobias and all her fears for the greater good. But this is where she realises that this could cost her life. So not only does she have to try and avoid her phobias, but she also has to try and find a way out of here and understand what the hell is going on. So whether or not she can, something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Rupture. This film had a really good idea. It's all about confronting your fears, confronting your phobias, and how difficult that can be. And now, thankfully, I don't have any phobias, but I know people who have phobias, and it can control their lives. And so this is a deep-seated fear. And so whenever this is shown in a film, I think it does have a lot of potential. I thought the story to this film was very fascinating, and I thought it was complemented by a great colour paletting. So the cinematography outside this facility, it was all normal, but inside the facility, it was very vivid colouring. It felt like a fever-pitch dream, and it felt like the feeling of someone going through their phobias. So it's a very psychological aspect that the visuals actually brought to the movie. So it's a very intelligent way that the movie was made, in that it actually feels like a bizarre sort of environment that is basically forcing these people to confront bizarre things. And so there are some fairly good set pieces of horror in this film that I thought were cringeworthy. If you've got a fear of spiders, you're not really going to like this film, is because there are some scenes involving spiders that I thought were very much on the edge of your seat. Now, I don't have a phobia of spiders, I don't have arachnophobia, but I don't like them. I don't like the fact that they've got a lot of legs and they're all hairy and they can bite, and I don't like that. But so there were some scenes in this film that really made me feel on edge. And so as a psychological aspect and a movie about confronting phobias, I thought it was very interesting in what it was trying to do. And then you've got some pretty insane sort of moments towards the end of the film that I actually liked. It gave it that science fiction sort of feel. But the best part of this film by far is the main character, played by Noomi Rapace. Noomi Rapace, for those of you who don't know, is a Swedish actress. She made herself known by the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. I think she's a phenomenal actress. I've seen her in a lot of Norwegian and Swedish films, but in this film, I thought that she was by far the standout. She didn't have a lot to play with, but she puts everything on the line. She gives it her all, and she's not really wasting any energy in what she's trying to do. She's not conserving energy. It feels like she's just splashing everything. She's just throwing herself at the screen to try and make this film a good one. And so whether it's her caring nature when she's dealing with her son, or whether it's the sheer sense of terror on her face when she's going through all these bizarre sort of a set of circumstances. So she's very believable, and that gives you the sense that this is not someone who's just acting. It feels like someone you could know. It feels like someone that is actually you, is because she's expressing herself in a very realistic way. And although this movie is a very unrealistic sort of nature to it, her performance gives you that sense of relatability, that sense of connection, and I think that she just delivers great performances in everything she does, and she's by far the best aspect of this film. Unfortunately, though, that is where the positives stop. In the end, what I thought of this film is that it was wasted potential. This movie didn't realise how good it could have been, is because it has a great idea, but that idea is never realised. The idea is never really gone into enough to really satisfy your curiosity. Constantly in this film, you're thinking to yourself, why are they taking these people? Why are they conducting these experiments? And you get a glimpse as to why they're doing it, but they're focused on other things. So it feels like the director really didn't know how to delve into the story to actually to keep the audience remaining in their sense of curiosity and their sense of interest. It's because at the end of the film I really checked out and I really didn't care what was going on, is because it feels like it's going in 360 degrees, and that you're kind of on a carousel, and as you're going on the carousel, the idea is coming and you try and reach out but you miss it. So you have to wait a while before you get the other opportunity to try and grab it, but you miss it. And so because every time you miss that opportunity to really get into the story, you feel frustrated. And because you feel frustrated, it does take a lot away from the film. And so this movie actually felt like a great idea for a short story, but because it's a feature film, the director feels as though he doesn't have enough material to capture your interest from first minute to the 90th minute, so he's putting in a lot of filler. Now, inside this facility, it was absolutely fascinating, but there are many scenes where Noomi Rapace is going through the ventilation system trying to find an escape, or she's going through the maze-like facility, and you feel as though all of this is on repeat. As I said, it's the carousel that's going round and round, and it's giving you the sense that the idea and the good part of this film is within reach, but every time you reach out to try and grab it, you're always missing it. And so it feels like there's a lot of filler, and that's a great shame, is because the idea was there to make an absolutely fantastic film, but unfortunately it does wear thin very quickly, is because you sense that there's so much filler in this movie that it would have been so much better as just a short film. So that was bitterly disappointing. You've got a lot of good aspects to the movie, but when those aspects are never really taken advantage of, you feel as though it's a greatly wasted opportunity, and as a result of that, I thought this was one of the more forgettable horror films. So it was a great shame, because I really wanted to like it, but if I'm being brutally honest, I just came away from it a lot more disappointed than satisfied. So overall, for Rupture, I'm only going to give this one 1.5 stars. It should have been a lot bigger, but those great ideas are never realised, therefore it's a very frustrating experience. Alright guys, that's it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.